Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashry, and as always, I am joined by
Rob Mendiola.
Greetings, Rob.
What's up, Doug?
It is a lovely Wednesday that feels like a Monday.
Man, yeah, I had all my days mixed up just because I did.
Same boat.
Yeah, working too much, man.
Yeah, got home Sunday night, so
Yeah.
recharge. I guess Easter week recharge, and then
And Easter's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we have guests on today, but before we get to that, I'm kind of wondering, does anybody actually play on Easter? Everybody I know and everybody I was just out with, they just went back home. So I'm trying to think of anybody.
Probably some people out there.
Somebody plays probably on
Crank
Saturday, but I don't know.
But somebody we've seen play here a few times
Yes.
is on the phone with us now.
Seen them up close and personal,
Yep.
man. That would be the Ratchet Dolls, and we are joined by Kevin and Sophie. Hello, people. How y'all doing today?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
It's really good. It's a good day.
We've got no complaints, man. We just have to find a place to catch y'all on the podcast in between trips around the world
Man, I'm
and
telling
everything
you.
else, man.
Y'all been everywhere lately.
We're tired.
Are you?
We're tired.
It is hard, right? It's hard work.
You tired? And they, instead of bands that do here 1 year, then go there, no, they're going back again.
See, y'all been doing some
Yeah.
international tours.
It
We did a 6-month break and then went back immediately.
Wow.
Yeah. We told that we had to force each other, and I fought Sophie on this because I'm a road dog. I
Yeah.
can stay on the road forever.
Yes.
And Sophie stopped me for a second, and she was like, "Hey, man, we have to stop."
Hey, man.
Yeah.
And I think it was the best choice we could have made. I think all of us were really worn out already. I think we all knew we were tired, but we didn't know when a good time to stop would have been,
Plus,
So we chose the holidays, which is the right time, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you owe us some music too, man. It's time, man. You need to get. Have you been writing?
Oh, you bet. So we're signed to a record label in Australia, and we're due for a new album. So
That is crazy.
that's in the works.
That's crazy
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Have y'all haven't gone down there and played though yet, have you?
Well, I'm not sure. I
Okay,
think we
never
can
mind.
talk about it.
We don't have.
Yeah.
Okay, we just assume sometime in the future it's going to
So
happen.
how did the whole deal with Australia work out?
Well, they actually found us. So we're signed with MR Records, which is a subsidiary to Melodic Rock Entertainment. And those guys have worked with everyone. I mean, all the 80s hard rock guys.
Uh-huh.
But they actually found us while we were on tour with Faster Pussycat.
Okay.
And while we were on the road with them, we were also kind of rolling in the new album, and they didn't know that the album was coming out. They just heard the singles. And so they saw the traction that was being built around that. And while we were on the road, we don't have a driver, so we drive ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we were super busy. We never got back to them. And I remember Sophie and I talking about who the hell is MR Records?
They're just reaching out. They're like, we want a meeting, mate.
Yeah. So,
That's
and
funny.
so we kind of kept putting it in the back burner, and we told ourselves maybe we should meet with these people because, I mean, we get emails from different people that claim they're part of the industry and they can do X, Y, and Z for you, and a lot of times they're just dead ends.
A lot of noise.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And so these guys were very persistent, and we finally met them, and they turned out to be the sweetest guys, man.
Wow.
I mean, true music fans. They've worked with, Kiss. They've worked with, just a bunch of big acts. And so that was, that was what we were looking for.
Yeah,
we didn't want a giant label.
Yeah.
We wanted to stay true to what we like, what we were inspired by, and these guys were letting us do just that.
I think finding someone outside of the U.S. was helpful too, because the industry is getting pretty oversaturated with people who are trying to manage, but they're not doing enough. And so we just kind of threw out the whole idea of, a label or any kind of team, I guess. And then we came across them, and we have a great team now.
Good.
It's not just, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing for us, and this was something we were very honest with them about from the very beginning, was that we wanted to grow alongside a team, not just elevate the label and only talk about the label. And it was all about the label because we were with another label. I won't say the name, but they did us wrong, and really it was more about the label than the music.
Right.
And when we signed, they kind of put us in the back burner, and we didn't want a repeat of that. So we have a very good relationship, and we could genuinely call them our friends. You know, we talk to them all the time. They're not just signing bands and then okay, you'll never hear from me again. It's not like that. We actually speak to them all the time.
They have real interest.
So it's a good relationship.
And that's good because there's so many little labels out there these days. And I'm never amazed. You know, I mean, I'm never surprised, I guess, anymore when somebody says, hey, I've got a label. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. And yeah, so that's good, man. You know, I had a feeling when I saw y'all.
You saw them first at Live at Bill's, correct?
Yeah, and I said, okay, somebody's going to pick these guys up because there's something about y'all. Y'all have the stage presence of like the Molly Ringwalds or something like that, like all the energy of that kind of but they play damn good music in their own music, which they can do a good cover too. What was that, a Motley Crue cover they were playing that? I want to say
probably Kiss, I think. Was
it Kiss or Motley? Do y'all do Motley Crue?
We do an extended sets, but I think at Live at Bill's we played Detroit Rock City.
Yeah, I think
that was a very near and dear song to us, man.
Yeah, y'all
very near and dear.
Well, y'all were tearing it up, man. Like I said, y'all all the stuff y'all did, y'all were kicking ass on, man. It sounded fantastic. I thought, yeah, y'all sound very, very tight.
Yeah, no matter where they play, they always bring it 110%. And that's awesome.
Yeah, we always so being on the road, I mean, like any band, you have good days and you have bad days, and a lot of promoters and venue owners, they're personal friends of ours because being on the road for so long, we have those connections with them, and they'll come up to us after sets and be like, "Look, man, the reason why I keep bringing you guys back is because it doesn't matter if there's 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. It's the same show.
Exactly.
And you guys aren't like, oh, I'm bummed because there's not a lot of heads in the room. And no, that doesn't really put us down. It just makes us have more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all might not. Yeah. Y'all. Well, you actually do have kind of like a.
But we've seen that too. We've seen nationals come in and there's 20 people in the place. You know?
You never know, man. And it's some things. Really catch on,
and sometimes those are better shows too, because you get to be right up there.
Yeah, it is true.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
the intimacy,
right?
Yes,
it elevates it.
But y'all put on a great show, man. Like I said, y'all are very high energy. So I mean, it's
yeah. Doug's been crazy about you guys ever since he's seen you at Live at Bill's. So
yeah, I thought they were very damn.
And he sees a lot of bands, so
yeah, I thought it was damn good.
Take it.
Yeah, that's.
We want to be back in Houston.
Yeah, we hope to be back very soon, and I actually think we're coming back very soon.
We're coming to Spring.
Yeah, we'll be in Spring, Texas. I think that's north.
Back
Houston,
at 19th hole.
No, they might.
Yeah, we'll be at 19th hole.
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh shit, man. Yeah,
that sucks because I can't go there with all the smoke.
Oh, the smoke. Yeah. What is the other venue? The Ice House place.
Have y'all tried to get Sawyer Park?
Yeah, Sawyer Park would be good for y'all, man.
Put in a word, Doug.
I actually haven't heard of that place. The last time we were in the Houston area, I think we were in Sugarland at Pub Fountains.
You want to get with Sawyer Park? Maybe Spring can help because we know a girl who knows somebody there.
Yeah, Sawyer Park is good. Drown Pool actually played there. It would be good. It would be good for y'all.
Look up Sawyer Park. You'll love the image in the place and stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
they're right on the
open
Spring.
To playing anywhere now.
They're like right on the Spring Woodlands line.
That is right. Yeah, no, I'm trying to.
They're probably like 10 minutes from 19th hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
If even that, yeah.
They just have a higher ceiling.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
All around.
A higher ceiling?
Yeah, because 19th hole is a little bit closed in.
But all around, they have a better demographics there, and it's just like, it's a really nice place. Check it out.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll play anywhere, man.
Oh, yeah.
As long as it's rock and roll, we're there.
Oh, this is a nice place. They got a nice stage, everything, man. It's really cool.
Well, Kevin, okay, we got to start with you, man. Where did all this start for you, man? musically?
The band or the musical journey?
You music, man, because you can play one hell of a guitar, but I mean, what brought you into music, man? Was it family or?
Yeah. Actually, it was family. It was my brother. His name is Andy, and so I kind of wasn't. I didn't have very big inspirations on the radio. I had inspirations like in real life, face to face, and he was always the guy I looked up to as a kid. He was a skater guy. I wanted to be a skater guy, and then he left skating and he got a guitar, and I was like, "What is this weapon here?" And I remember he prohibited me. Yeah. And I remember him saying that I prohibit you from touching this guitar.
Right.
And he had it in his closet. And when he'd be away from home, I'd kind of creep into the room and take his guitar out of the case, and I would be like, oh, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, there were a few times when he caught me and kicked my ass. but he noticed from then on that, you know what, this guy clearly wants to learn. He's interested. Let me teach him something and just see where it goes. And he taught me like an E chord and an A chord. And I think at the time it was the G chord, and it was like, wait, there's more. And I was like, what? And it just kind of snowballed into this, you know, diehard interest of mine. And so I picked it up. And after those 3 chords, I just ran with it. And I would grab his guitar and just listen to the radio. And I remember sitting in the middle of the living room with the tiny little stereo, and I'd hear a song, and I would just dabble with it until I found the right pitch. Yeah. And it wasn't the right chord or anything like that. It was just the pitch. So single notes. And it just went on, and I developed my ear that way. Eventually, I told myself, you know what, I want to play in a band. I want to play with other people that are like-minded. Yeah. And at the time, I'm from Brownsville. And in Brownsville at the time, it was a more death metal scene, more hardcore stuff. And the only way that I was going to get anyone involved is if I introduced myself to them in that genre. And so I started off with that, and it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, but I did meet a lot of musicians that eventually ended up in a band called The Skeptic. And that band was the original incarnation of sorry, that was Sophie's watch. That's funny. That was the original incarnation of Ratchet Dolls.
Wow. Okay.
What ended up happening is that band got a letter in the mail, cease and desist, from an attorney from a band that was signed with the same name. And so that's why we forcefully changed the name to Ratchet Dolls.
Yeah. Which happens a lot.
Yeah. So you started out playing in the calligraphy field.
The band names
death metal. What is that? What's the name of that band?
Yeah. But a bunch of tree branches put together.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I had to start with, and it was cool. I'm not gonna lie. I grew to like it, and
it's still fun to play.
It definitely is. And I started off as a vocalist for a band like that, and so all of the screaming, the fries, and all that stuff, and like I said, it wasn't my cup of tea. Eventually, I transitioned back into rock and roll, and I just I knew what I wanted from the start.
Is that what your brother played more rock and roll, more 80s style?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was. Yeah. It was. He loved the 70s, the Led Zeppelin stuff, and he loved a lot of Metallica and AC/DC, and so that was near and dear to me. Yeah. But I couldn't find any friends that were into that. And so a lot of those metal guys, I pulled off to the side, and I was like, hey, guys, I know you like what you're doing, but hear me out here.
There's something better.
What if we tried this? And they're like, no, that's boring. But eventually I managed to convince a couple guys. And we started that band, The Skeptic, which eventually had, like a million lineup changes because, and so we ended up here. And
it's harder to play that, right? It's harder to play that style versus just the death metal.
Actually, no, and that's the thing. I can't tell you how many times a lot of those guys were kind of turned off by the rock and roll thing, and they would have this sort of cocky attitude towards it, like, oh, this is so easy. It's just a couple chords. I can do that with my eyes closed, whatever. They have that kind of mentality, but what people don't realize is that you can't just play the chords. There's feel behind it, and typically when you play something slower, it's harder.
It is
than the faster stuff because you have to have a lot more accuracy.
Right.
And so, but that's how it started for me. That's very cool. That's what the story was. Yeah.
Well, in death metal, you don't have to have accuracy as long as you have a distortion pedal.
Just 10 times distortion.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to knock any metal bands out there. I still love a lot of those bands.
No, I'm giving grief, and anytime I play, the more distortion, the better, man. Yeah. So but
that's what I started with too, metal. I have a good love for it too.
I love all rock.
Yeah, I like anything on a guitar as long as it's loud.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to remember.
That's all I wanted. I wanted to play loud.
Yeah, I just want to feel it.
Honestly, all I wanted. Yeah. Hence the loud stuff, right?
Yeah.
But, I was going to ask about Sophie came out of California. Is that right?
No.
Oh, she's glaring at the phone right now.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
What have you done?
Idaho.
What have you done?
It's Idaho, right?
It's somewhere west of Texas. Was it Arizona?
Yeah.
No,
it was Idaho. It's like right by California, Montana, Oregon, Washington, kind of like the Pacific Northwest type of area.
I know it well. I went to.
You drove through there just not too long ago.
Yeah, I just went through. I went through Klamath Falls. Was it the Niagara Falls of the West? Was it the Twin Falls? You know what I'm talking about.
Twin Falls, yeah.
Yeah, that's like 2 hours from Boise, which is where I'm from.
Yeah, I know it well. Yeah, I go it's
beautiful out there.
Yeah, when I come out through Oregon on that lonely ass highway on the western.
Because your daughter's in Oregon, right?
Yeah, and she's in Corvallis. So when I come out from there, I come out through Boise every time. So yeah, I know it well.
Yeah, the camping out there is great. You can't camp in Texas like you can over there.
I bet.
Right.
Not the same.
No, I mean,
we've gone camping out there a few times, and it's very inspiring. Just nature.
No, it's the the hiking for me. We just I did tell Scotty to tell him hi, the other day, and we did we hiked what the hell
Enchanted
Rock. Right there northwest
Austin.
of San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio.
Yeah, it's north of Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
And
yeah. We've driven right by it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a
funny
place out there.
Yeah, we did when I'll join them or other guys, and I know they hike, and we'll meet up and we'll hike in different places in the West on in between tour dates, or when the buses are rolling. They'll stop somewhere and we'll get out and hike and
still not as cool as Idaho or Utah.
No, that is the best place. Utah, Moab, Oregon is fantastic. Yeah. I did some Northern California hikes that were great too. But yeah, that's all beautiful country up there.
So, man. Sophie, how did you start in guitar? Because you're a beast on that thing.
Thank you. Well, I kind of had someone who inspired me, kind of like Kevin.
Uh-huh.
My dad played, and he had guitars laying around. When I was 9 or 10, I kind of started bugging him for one, just, because it looked interesting.
Yeah.
And so he had gotten me a cheap one as a Christmas gift, and it sat in the closet for 2 or 3 years, and I don't know why. I'm sure he thought I was never going to pick it up, but randomly one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to learn. And I had heard some music that I really liked. I think it was just a lot of 80s stuff, like the Scorpions and Randy Rhoads and all that. And I was like, I want to play that. I honestly don't know what made me want to, but I just was like, Dad, teach me whatever you know. And so he taught me a lot of 70s stuff. And so my influences are a lot more vintage than, Kevin. Yeah. I love 70s Southern rock. I love all that stuff from that era. And so he taught me what he knew, which was, I think the first thing was Breakdown by Tom Petty.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
So, and he liked America, and so I learned a song by America. I think it was Ventura Highway. So it was kind of stuff like that. And then, he had kind of taught me what he knew, and so I went, this is what I want to learn too. So I started teaching myself from then on.
Right.
And I kept to myself a lot. I wasn't really good at meeting people, so I wanted a band, but I never really got one in my high school years and all that. And I met some people, and then I finally at like 18, I had a band, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take it to the next level. Like, I've always wanted to do this as a career. And I was so driven. Like, I was willing to do whatever I had to do to get myself to where I wanted to be. And so I was like, I just want to play music. That's all I want, you know, because at that point, all my friends were, you know, doing other paths. Like, they were usually going to school. And I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I was so determined, like, and I've always been stubborn and determined. So I was like, you know what, this band, I'm going to take it to the next level. So I started taking charge of all the management and booking, and then I had us do tours all across the US, and we played Daytona Bike Week and Sturgis and all that. I was around 21 or 22 when we finally played Texas, and that's how Kevin and I met. And I saw Ratchet Dolls. We performed with Ratchet Dolls, and then that's how this started. And we had been in touch ever since. Yeah. And then I decided to join. So
wow.
Okay.
And in between all of that, believe it or not, her old band and this band went out on a tour together. It was a co-headlining tour that Sophie and I booked together, because everything she was doing for her band, the band was called Powerhouse, but everything she was doing, all the managing and the booking and administrative work, I was doing for Ratchet Dolls.
Yeah.
And so we booked this entire like month-long tour on our own, and we hit the road, you know, and eventually Sophie and I, we got together, and obviously we both loved music, so the chemistry was there from the start. Yeah. And we started working together, eventually leading to her moving to Texas and joining the band. And when you have someone with the brains like Sophie, because she's so smart, she's so dedicated and so driven, when she wants to do something, she's going to do it. Yeah. When you have someone like that joining forces with someone like me, who is just as driven, just as motivated, you know, it just took the band to a whole nother level. I mean, we started going so hard on the touring, which was, you know, something that a lot of people started pointing out. They were like, oh my God, these guys are never home. and it's true. It's true. We're hardly ever home. I mean, there's, 12 months in a year, and we're probably out about 6 of them. Wow. So
have you managed to keep the same bassist and drummer?
Well, we have our good friend Ethan on drums, and Sophie and I have been, the consistent forces behind the band. Unfortunately, it's as you guys know, finding musicians that are dedicated, even in a local status, is so hard. Yeah, it is. It's so hard, even on a local level. So when you put, hey, how would you like to join a band that plays rock and roll? And we're on the road about 6 months out of the year. You want to do that? It's so much harder.
See, that's why I asked you, because I knew that's the tough part. Now wait, the kid on the drums, is that the one where his dad plays, right?
Right. Yeah. That's Hector. He helps us out a lot. Hector's a badass, cool. Man. I mean, he's been on the road with us.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So he's been on tour with us, and yeah, he's been on the road with us. He's helped us out. He's our merch guy. He helps Ethan out with his drums. If we need help loading in, he's always there. He is literally the band's number one supporter. He is Ethan's number one supporter. And we've told him, like, man, you're so lucky to have, your father, being there every step of the way and supporting you. So we value that guy. He's the best.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because like I said, that's taxing, man. All that road. It gets.
I couldn't do it. That's why I didn't never take it that level.
No, and those guys.
I can't live in a van.
Those guys want me to go out there. I'm like, no, I'll grab There's you. No way. Yeah, I'll grab you for 2 or 3 dates, and I'll go hit somebody. I can't, and I could not stay that like.
That's literally what kept me from ever going that far in music. Yeah, just I can't do that roughing it thing.
That's the
I've never even been camping, man.
Well, that's the question I got. We've had a friend of mine on, and he lives in California. In fact, when I go up this year, I have to check him out. He lives north of San Francisco now, and when him and his wife did their tour across Europe, I made the comment that they traveled to Europe on like $1 because I know them, man. They're like beatniks. They will play anywhere. And just how did y'all do budgetary when you were in Europe, man? How did that go for you?
Well, thankfully, we partnered with our booking agent. She's from France, and she did a very good job securing, good gigs for us that were actually taking care of us. Wow. So thankfully, we ended up making money. We didn't, we didn't lose anything. We were out there, and every single night was a blast. I mean, when I tell you,
y'all look like you were having fun.
We were having a blast, but the biggest difference is the music scene is so much more connected out there. Wow. I feel like here in the States, I mean, obviously it's a very strong scene, but you kind of have to work your ass off to win the crowd over. And once you have them, they're yours. Out there, what we experienced was something completely different, and it threw us off because when we hit the stage, from the moment we were on stage to the moment we stepped off, everyone was up front, right in front of us, so into the music. And it's just, oh my God, night and day difference. Yeah. Night and day difference. And so they really, really appreciate American bands going out there and, giving it their all, especially if it's a rock band. They love rock and roll out there. Wow. But the way we did it was, we prepared ahead of time. We did a lot of gigging here in the States, and we do very well on merch, thankfully. That's how any band will survive. And so, pairing up with guarantees and merch, it's just, we're very fortunate. Our fans take care of us. And so we went out there, we did our thing, business. And
yeah,
we're doing something.
Yeah. Were you able to find a place out there to make some merch for you while you were out there, or
you had enough?
Well, you want to tell them that story?
Because I know I've heard some stories on, sending it's a bitch, So
tell us that story, Sophie.
Go ahead.
Well, I can't remember exactly why we decided to do this, but I think that with all things considered, it probably seemed like the best option at the time. But we actually had to kind of smuggle all of our merch in so what we did is we had a carry-on each. We didn't even have stowed luggage, right? We just had a carry-on. Yeah. And each of us would stuff as much merch as we could into our carry-on bags. Yay. And then we used our personal item, which is just something like the size of a backpack for our own stuff. And then we actually disassembled our guitars. We had the body of the guitar in a carry-on. So I had mine in my carry-on and Kevin in his, and the bass player.
Wow.
Like that. And then we just carried the necks alone at the airport without the body, and we got a lot of weird looks, but that's actually how we brought the merch in that time.
And it was the same joke at every stop. Everyone kept making the same joke. They were like, "Where's the rest of the guitar?" And I'm like, "Okay." And we had to show them that we had the body of the guitar in our luggage, you know. And so we had to literally smuggle our way through this tour. It was our first time out there. We didn't know what to expect. I had personally never been to Europe, so I had no idea what to expect.
That's insane.
And so when we did that, we saved, thankfully, on a lot of the luggage, stuff. And so
because I've heard stories on bands getting their merch there, and what a F that is, basically. That's a nice way of saying it. Yes, I was kind of curious if you're going to be there for that long, have somebody there print something. I was just kind of curious how that would work. But yeah.
Well, this time around, we'll probably take that approach this time around, now that we know that there are options. But at least we know how to do it if push comes to shove. You know? And it worked out so perfect for us. We took literally the perfect amount of merch. Like by the end of it, we had a couple shirts left, a couple CDs, and that was it. We were like, wow, we barely missed. We just barely missed, So it was really good.
Where y'all playing?
It was really good.
Where y'all playing?
He learned all the smuggling from Texas.
Yeah, see, there you go. Where y'all playing this time? Is it all over Europe or is it UK? I can't remember.
So this time we're starting out in the UK. Last time we only had one UK date, and that was in London. This time we're going to be several places in the UK, including Call of the Wild Festival.
Okay.
And then after that, we're going to hop over to Europe, and we're going to be playing in just all of the Scandinavian countries, or not all of them, because we're not hitting like Finland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Denmark, but we're doing a lot of Sweden and Norway.
Yeah, y'all did Germany too, right?
Last year, yeah.
I don't believe we're in Germany this year.
No, we're not. We're not this year.
Okay.
Obviously, we plan on going back to literally every city we played, because everywhere we went, we created personal relationships with people. And although there was language, I'm sorry?
They want y'all back.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
absolutely. Nice. And thankfully, we created a personal relationship with them, even with a language barrier. I mean, I'm telling you, one of our good friends, his name is Koti. He is from Poland, and he is always on our stuff. I mean, he's the most supportive guy.
Wow.
He has never met us personally, actually.
Wow.
And when we played, where was it in Poland? Krakow, Poland.
I might be butchering.
Yeah, we're butchering it probably. But we played right around the corner from him, and he wasn't able to make it. But when we got there, the venue pulled me aside, and they were making it seem like we were in trouble. We did something wrong. And obviously there's a language barrier. So I'm like, oh man, that's it.
Yeah.
Tour's done. I'm going to jail.
Oh, God.
And so they pulled me aside, the promoter, and he was like, can I talk to you, man? This is serious. And so he pulled me outside of the venue, and I'm like, oh, okay, what did I do? and he's like, well, let me take you to the back. And I'm like, that's it. I'm being, I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
Right.
And so, out of nowhere, he's like, well, somebody asked us to give this to you. And it was like a whole bouquet of roses and
a basket with like a bottle of wine.
Wow.
And a card, teddy bear.
Yeah, and it was our friend Koti. And he was like, I'm so sorry that I can't be there. I wish I could be there, but I wish you guys luck. I know Poland's gonna love you, and we can't wait for you to come back. And I was just so shocked. Even our booking agent was like, whoa. That's crazy. That's so cool. You know?
That is cool.
And she was like, I had no idea that people knew you guys out here. I'm like, we didn't even know that. That's crazy. And so we have, friends all around the world now that, can't wait to see us again. The feeling is mutual. We can't wait to see them.
That's good. So any U.S. touring this year?
They don't need the
Absolutely.
U.S. They're Aussies now.
Well, we actually announced a portion of the U.S.
Yeah, we announced like 2 or 3 weeks of dates so far, but we have more coming because I'm still trying to figure out some stuff on the West Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so those dates are kind of being figured out, but we've released some East Coast dates. We've released our date that we're playing for Rockfest. What else was there?
Yeah,
there's Rimrocks.
So a couple of festivals in the States, and we're touring around that. But I think in total already, we're pretty much, we've got 2 months of touring ahead of us.
Wow.
Just from what we've announced. And I can tell you right now, there's so much more coming.
Yeah, when you do West Coast, let me know, because I know I'm going to be out there sometime in the next 6 weeks, and then I'll be back there in end of August and start of September. I'd love to catch y'all out there. If y'all are playing around that time, who knows? But
we probably will be. More than likely, we probably will be. And then we have a bunch of surprises for the end of the year that we can't really talk about just yet. But
we'll have you back. We'll have you back to talk about it when you can, man. Don't worry.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's very exciting. I mean, we're wanting to touch ground literally everywhere we can, because I'm telling you, when we first touched ground in Europe, we were like, okay, this is either going to be a train wreck, or we're going to learn so much so quickly. This band is going to be just absolutely unstoppable now, because we do all the booking. I mean, obviously out there in Europe, we met a lot of people, and a lot of people are directly in contact with us. So if we ever need to do anything, we could just pick up the phone and book it ourselves if we have to. But so we're wanting to touch ground literally everywhere. I mean, I'm personally hoping we could do something, in Asia, Japan, everywhere. We're down to go everywhere. And so a lot is in the works. A lot of more countries are coming. We can't say specifically what, but we have that new album in the works too. New singles probably going to be dropping within the next few weeks, and hopefully a new music video with that,
Yeah,
got so much planned.
Y'all deserve it, man. You're a good dude. So
yeah, and y'all keep putting out good video content. So I think that sells itself.
Yeah.
Y'all are doing the thing. And hey, tell everybody where can they catch y'all on social media, and of course, the Ratchet Dolls are available on any music platform. You can find them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can find us on. We prefer YouTube Music ourselves, but if you're a Spotify, guy or gal, you can find us there. Apple Music, pretty much everywhere. You can probably Google Ratchet Dolls and find everything right there.
It's such an odd name that it just pops up immediately.
Very
You'll find the Instagram, the Facebook, just Ratchet Dolls,
and boom, you're there.
Yeah, y'all did a good job. Y'all did a good job on the name. I think it's catchy, and no, I mean, it comes right up. I've found that out too. So that's good, man. We just wanted to catch up with y'all a little bit today, and I know when y'all come back to town, we'll do something again. But yeah,
absolutely. We can't wait, man.
Yeah, Kevin,
we can't wait. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go everywhere. Hopefully, everywhere in the States too. A lot of surprises coming up. When the time comes, I'll be sure to hit you up, let you in on everything. And whenever you guys are ready to have us back, if you'll have us, we'd be more than happy to come back.
Always. And we'll promote you. Don't worry about that. I promise. Kevin and Sophie, thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, please go out and catch some Ratchet Dolls. I guarantee you,
buy their smuggled merch.
Yes, buy their smuggled merch. You'll see them in the airports. They're the ones carrying the guitar neck. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's such a cool story, man.
Yeah, it is cool. That's why we do this. But this is the Nonsense Chronicles, and we are out of here.
Later.